go around, throttle full forward,
4,
raise the landing gear, flaps up by 1 notch. There we have Mantoga SRS, go around track. Hello Sim Pilots, and welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Simulator tutorial video. Today I'm going to show you how I implement the missed approach procedures into the Flybywire A32nx. Now I know this feature isn't implemented in the A32nx by Flybywire. They are working on it. It's supposed to come together with FMS V2, so that's exciting news. What I thought I'd do in the meantime is I would show you how I use the fix page in the MCDU to give myself some visual references when implementing a go-around or a missed approach procedure. So for today's example, we are currently cruising towards Palma de Mallorca, and we're going to shoot the ILS into 06 left, and I'm going to bring up the charts and I'm going to show you the missed approach procedure for this airport. So this is the example that we're going to be using today. We're going to shoot the ILS into runway 06 left at Palma de Mallorca or Son St. John Airport. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly down to minimums, and then we're going to perform the missed approach. Now, as you can see on the chart, we're going to be flying into 06 left. The missed approach procedure is from the JOA VOR, left turn 026, then a right turn 088 towards the Cap de Pera VOR. Here it says climb direct to the JOA VOR, turn left, max speed 185 knots, and follow radial 026 JOA to D7.5 JOA. Turn right, max to 10 knots to intercept and follow the radial 268 inbound CDP VOR. Maintain max 2,000 feet until D20 CDP. Then continue to climb to 3,000 feet and wait for ATC instructions. Now we don't have any ATC today. I'm not flying on VATSIM. If you were flying on VATSIM and they had ATC at this airport, you would probably go around, you would follow this procedure, and they would give you further instructions. But because we are not flying online, we're going to follow this procedure, and then maybe we'll just hold at the Cap de Pera VOR. Here it says missed approach with lost comms is the same instructions, and then it says continue climb to 3,000 and proceed to CDP VOR and hold. Yes, so that's the same thing. We will proceed all the way to the VOR and then hold there, and then from there you could probably set up another approach coming back down to the MJV VOR and then try again. So let's go ahead and jump into the cockpit and head to the MCDU, and let me show you how I do this using the fix page. Okay, so here we are inside the flight deck, and we're having a look at the MCDU flight plan page. Now what we need to do is we need to bring up the fix page so we can draw ourselves some reference fixes or fix references into the navigation display that we can use as reference for the missed approach. So to do that, we're going to click on the left line select key at the top over here, and we go to fix info, and that brings us up 4 fix info pages where we can do reference fixes and draw radial rings and radius circles around fixes for reference to the missed approach. So if I bring up the chart, we have our missed approach, climb direct to JOA VOR. So that's the first reference we need. So it's this one over here, the JOA VOR. So we're going to type in reference fix 1, JOA. I'm going to stick that in there. And if I bring up the navigation display, maybe put it in plan mode over here, make it a little bit smaller. Go back to the flight plan page and just pan all the way down here. Okay, there we have the JOA VOR at the end of runway 06 left. So where are we going from JOA VOR? Well, we need to turn left to a heading of 026 once we get to JOA. So we're going to have so what we can do is we can go back to the reference page or the fix info page, and we can draw that radial. So we're going to do 026, insert that over there. Let me just go back down here, and now you can see we have that 026 degree radial from the JOA VOR. So we're going to follow that line until we get to follow 026 JOA to D7.5 JOA. So once we're 7.5 nautical miles away from JOA, then we need to turn right to intercept and follow the 268 degree radial inbound CDP VOR. Well, how do we know when we're 7.5 nautical miles away from JOA? Well, two ways. We can put it in the RadNav page. So we can put JOA in the RadNav page over here. And we can put the CDP VOR while we're here in the other side, which is the second VOR we're going to be using. And then if we turn on these pointers over here, when we get closer to the VORs, it's going to show us our distance to the VORs. So they're both on there. So it'll show us here in the left and right hand corner. The second way is we're going to go back to the fix info page and we're going to draw a radius ring around the VOR. So JOA, the radius is going to be 7.5 nautical miles because that's when we need to start our turn. Okay, I don't think you can put half nautical miles in there, so let's just round it up to 8 nautical miles and then we'll turn just before that. So now if I go back again, there we go. Now we have this ring around the JOA VOR, which if I zoom out, should be able to see it a little bit better. Okay, there's an 8 nautical mile ring around the JOA VOR. So when we get to that ring, that's our point to turn right to our next heading, which is intercept and follow the 268 degree inbound CDP VOR. Now the radial is 268 coming from the CDP VOR, but it's a heading of 088. So our next fix is going to be the CDP VOR. So fix info, page 1, let's choose the right hand arrow key, and fix info page 2 is going to be the CDP VOR over there. Now I should have drawn it in there. Let's just zoom out a little bit more so we can see if we can see it. There it is over there. Now we need that line coming from the CDP VOR. So we can't choose 088. We have to choose the radial, because if we put in 088, it's going to point it out to the right hand side of it. We want the radial, so it's the 268 degree radial, as you can see here. So the radial is going to be 268, and there, that draws it over there. And then there's one more radius ring we need for this one over here, and that's this one over here. It says maintain 2,000 feet until D20 CDP, then continue the climb to 3,000 feet and wait for ATC instructions. So we're going to do a radius ring of 20 nautical miles around the CDP VOR, and that's going to be our point where we're going to continue the climb from 2,000 to 3,000. Now we're also going to be able to see the distance in the left and right corners here of the navigation display once we get closer to the VORs, and that's because we filled it in on the RadNav page over here. We have the JOA and the COP VORs. And that's pretty much set up on the navigation display. Now all these lines and circles may look a little bit confusing at first, but if you know what you're looking at when you approach them, that's going to be good to reference once we fly the missed approach. So with that set up, we're ready to fly this missed approach. So let's get on to the final approach for this runway, and let's demonstrate this missed approach procedure. Okay, so as we turn final approach here, let's go ahead and talk about what we are going to do for the missed approach. When we decide to go around, we're going to set the throttle full forward to the toga position. We're going to raise the landing gear, and we're going to retract the flaps by 1 notch from flaps full to flaps 3. Then as we climb out and increase speed to our first speed restriction, which is 185 knots, we'll continue retracting the flaps. We're going to set heading select mode to our first heading, which is runway heading. And then we're going to continue flying the missed approach. So let me just bring that out so it's a little bit easier to see, and maybe zoom out a little bit. Okay, we've captured the localizer, so let's start slowing down. We'll set flaps 1. Let me just make this a little bit smaller so I can see the in front of me. Okay, so as I said, we're going to go
2,500.
when we get to JO, left turn to heading of 026, climbing to 2,000 feet, right turn to 088, and then we're going to climb to 3,000 feet when we get to our second ring over there. Okay, glide slope speed captured. Set flaps 2. We need to start slowing down. I need to get some drag in here, so let's lower the landing gear. On the spoilers. Landing lights all on. Dig the cabin. Set flaps 3. I'm going to configure nice and early here so we got time to decide when we are going to go around. Let's zoom in a little bit more so we can see a little bit better. Okay, flaps full. Configured nice and early. Here we can see our nautical miles to the JOA VOR and to the CDP VOR, because we've got them in the RadNav page and the VOR pointers are turned on over here on the EFIS panel. Okay, fully configured
1,000.
on the RLS. We'll get a little bit lower and a little bit closer. We'll do a late go around. Set our missed approach altitude, which is 2,000 feet initially. Alright, let's say we get an instruction now from HC. It says go around, or we're not stable, or there's something on the runway or whatever, and we decide we're going to go around. So, go around, throttle full forward,
400.
raise the landing gear, flaps up by 1 notch. There we have Mantoga SRS, go around track. There the nose is pitching up. Raise 1 more notch of flaps. Let's set the speed to our initial speed, which is 185. Set the levers back to the climb position. Now we're going to fly to the JOA VOR. Let's get it in heading select mode. There's 2,000 feet, 185 knots. Here we are approaching JOA, so let's turn left to a heading of 026. Whoops. Alright, there's our heading coming around 026. I may have turned a little bit early there, not a problem. Now we're going to maintain this heading and this speed until we get to this ring over here, or just before this ring over here. Then we're going to do our right turn to 088. Where's my ring? My radial. Oh, there it is there. So this is the line we want to follow to the CDP VOR. I'm a little bit left of track, not a problem. It's close enough for this purpose, this demonstration. Here you can see in the bottom left hand corner we have JOA 2.7, 2.8. So when that gets to 7.5, we're going to do our right turn to follow this line, a heading of 08H, which is the 268 degree radial to the CDP VOR. And we can then increase our speed to 210 knots. There's 4 nautical miles. Now at this point, if you're flying online, ATC might give you different instructions depending on the traffic in the area. If they don't give you any instructions, you follow the missed approach procedure until they instruct you otherwise. So there's 5 nautical miles, as you can see here. So as we make this turn, we are going to increase our speed to a max 210 knots. One nautical mile to go. This is a very low missed approach procedure. I feel like we're very close to the terrain below. There's 7 nautical miles. Get our heading select over here. There's 7.4, 7.5. Let's begin the turn now to 088. Let's increase speed to 210 knots. Another notch of flaps up. Actually, we'll raise the flaps all the way now. There's 210 knots. And there is our heading of 088. Almost bang on the line. Perfect. Now this circle over here is our 20 nautical mile ring around CDP. And that's where we may continue the climb to 3,000 feet. So here we have now we're looking at this one over here. This is our distance to the CDP VOR. So at 20, we can continue the climb to 3,000 feet. $24. $23. Okay, so from there, and then from there we can either continue to the CDP VOR and hold over there, or we can follow ATC's instructions. Here we go, we're about to reach 20 nautical miles, so we can increase our altitude now to 3,000 feet. Okay, open climb. Now we're climbing to 3,000 feet, 210 knots, and we are on the missed approach procedure. Now, if you want to continue to CDP and hold over there, what we can do is we can go to flight plan, we can go to CDP and enter that, and that's going to take us to CDP, and then we can hold at CDP by going CDP hold. The course is inbound course is 273 degrees. And it is left turns. Insert that over there, and that's going to give us a hold at CDP, which will look like that over there. If you wanted to join the hold, we would do so over there. If you didn't want to join the hold and ATC are giving you other instructions, then what you can do is you can follow ATC's instructions. Maybe they give you an instruction to turn right, heading whatever, just follow that instruction. Maybe you can head back to the Mallorca VOR and then do the approach again. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I set up a missed approach procedure on the Flybywire A32nx MCDU using the fix page. This is a temporary solution until we get FMS V2, which will hopefully implement go-around procedures. I hope this small tutorial video has helped you. If you have any questions regarding missed approach procedures, leave them in the comments below. Jump on our Discord, I'll help you out there. As always, thanks very much for watching. Smash that like button, hit subscribe. We'll see you next time. Cheers.